Hi guys, how are you? My this one Titanium, the founder of IMMT, Investing MMT, and the co-founder of Pure MMT for the 100% Beyond Domains, along with my friend Edward Delzio, the author of the National Debit. Let's get started. Okay, so let's get started with this video. I saw this post this morning, blast from the past Facebook thing, and it says I'm buying oil at 42.75, and I'm being a little bit sarcastic here because oil supply is too high. The theme back then was, oh, oil is too high, it's going to go lower, and so on. Okay, it prompted me because I was thinking, God, people today are going through the same thing that I went through when I started trading 25 years ago. Okay, and if you think that I was buying oil back then because I was just being a contrarian, that's not true. Okay, that's not why I was buying oil. I was buying oil because the way I invest is much different than it's written in books or webinars or free webinars or paid subscriptions or whatever you come across. Okay, the way I do things is completely original. It's completely different, and it's very simple. It's simple in the sense that I look at a chart. I don't need anything. I just look at the price action. That's all I need. Okay, my foundation is macroeconomics. I use the MMT descriptive tool, to understand the macroeconomics. I take that and I apply it to the real world, and then with that knowledge that's applied in the real world, okay, then at that point I transferred into investing because I can see things that most people cannot see, and I contrast that with the bare knuckle charting is what I call it. Okay, and I can tell you where value is relative to where the cycle, economic cycle is. Now we're going to get into that in the next video, more likely. But first, I want to kind of go through the pitfalls of a new trader, okay, slash investor, whatever you want to call yourselves. I've been doing this for 25 years, and I've been through the same things that most of you are going through, are going to go through, or are getting ready to go through. And I'm going to try to get you to get away from that. Okay, I'm going to try to give you an insight that is from someone who has been burned many times. For example, I paid $2,500 to learn how to read candlesticks, which do not work, by the way. Okay, another $1,500 to learn Fibonacci, doesn't work. I don't want you to go through that. Okay, I wanna teach you how to do it the right way. But before I do that, let's see how close I am and how you can identify with me as to what I've been through my trading career.
Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing.
A lot of people are going to get very excited about trading, whether it be because of their 401k or some friend of theirs is running around saying, look how much money I made in the stocks or whatever, or Bitcoin or whatever it is. So they open up an account, they put $2,000-3,000 in there, they open up their screen, there's a buy, there's a sell, and believe it or not, most people believe that they are smarter than most people. It's kind of like the Frenchman. 90% of all Frenchmen believe that they're in the top 50% of lovemaking. Okay, so what does that tell you about the way people think? So the most appealing part about trading and investing is freedom. The freedom to buy or sell based on whatever vague hunches and feelings you might have, and no one is going to tell you that's wrong. You just do it. So you take your first $2,000-3,000, you go out there and you start to trade based on your vague hunches and feelings. You'll win some, you'll lose some, and then you'll blow out your account. And then you'll be like, damn it, I was up this amount, I have to start reading now. Okay, so they go out and they go buy some subscription service that's going to promise them all profits and mental game and all this bullshit. They'll go out, read some books, they'll watch some webinar on YouTube and some other, whatever. And now they feel, yeah, you know what? I didn't see it like that before. Yeah, they're right. They're right. So now he's going to go apply this newfound wisdom and do the same thing. And now guess what? Loses his account again. Now he's down, whatever, $4, $5, $6, $7,000. So now he's really getting pissed off, or she is getting really pissed off. She's like, I'm so successful as a doctor, lawyer, whatever I am. This thing cannot beat me. I just need to spend more time on it. Okay. So a friend of his come by. Yeah, I got this great bot. I just set it and forget it and whatever. So what does Bob do? He goes out. He buys $2,000 worth of bot, whatever software. He goes, works a little bit. Same thing. Gets crushed. Okay. Now he's like, this is all crap. Technical analysis is crap. Bots are crap. I'm gonna go read Benjamin Graham and Warren Buffett, and I'll become rich. So now he starts getting into the fundamentals. Well, the PE and the price to sale and everything under the sun and the moat and whatever. And he goes out and he buys some company out of nowhere that nobody knows about except for him and a few other value investors who really know what they're doing, because this guy now has spent, I don't know, a couple years trading, and sure enough the stock does nothing. And he's sitting there, it's been a couple months and it hasn't done anything. You know what? I just need more of them. I'm going to diversify now. So I'm going to go find more Buffett stocks. And he goes out and buys 5, 6 of them. And some went up, some went down. He's not really doing anything now. 6 months, 8 months have gone by. He's sitting there like, I really need to make more money now, because this thing is not really doing anything. I know what I'll do. I'll start day trading again. I've noticed these 6 stocks, and I know they do this thing where up and down, and yeah, I'm just gonna trade it. Okay, so then they start trading it, and before you know it, the money's gone again. Okay, so now he's down 10,000. Spent, I don't know, 2-3 years of his life trying to figure it all out. And now he's okay, I'm going to do an index. An index is already diversified. I don't have to worry about it. He goes out, he buys, everything is looking good, the trend is up, everything is nice, and within 6 months the market turns, and now he's losing, and guess what? He loses his money again. Because he discovered options, and with options you don't have to use all your money. You can just use a small percentage of the money. And then once he's done that, then he says, you know what, I'm going to start doing Forex. I'm just going to put $500-$600 in there. I'm going to start doing Forex. So he starts doing Forex. And before you know it, in weeks maximum, the money's gone again. Well, it's okay. It was only 500. I'm going to put another 500 now. And then another 500, and then another 500. And before you know it, he is really losing his ass. Now imagine Owanda is sitting there and he's seeing a whole bunch of accounts, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8,000, and all of them over the course of time, at least 95% of them are getting blown out. Now, do you think that they're not going to hold that position until and not go out and actually buy the currency pair and sell or whatever? No, they know that these guys are just going to lose their money. So what do? They just say, yeah, my friend, if you make money over the course of time, I'll pay you for sure, whatever it is. And the money never goes to the exchange. They keep it, and it's all profit for them. All profit for them, because they know 95% of them over the course of time are going to lose their money. I'm not even going to talk about all the reports over the course of this whole entire time that they've been reading in books, and the time spent, and they're just wasting their time and buying subscriptions and losing more money and buying bots, buying computer monitors, buying faster computers. How do I know? How do I know this? How do I know? Because I was that person. At one point in my life, I've been trading for over 25 years now. At some point, I was that person. I spent an enormous amount of time going through what most of you people are going through. Now, I've spent about 9 minutes talking about all these things because I want to make sure that you guys understand how it all plays out, because it depends on what level you are, where you are in this huge cycle of disastrous. Okay? And the whole entire time, you want that freedom of buying and selling. You want that thrill of making money and then losing it. You want the thrill to show the world that you are smarter than everybody else, and that you're going to get shit done. Okay? And you just at some point become so numb to losing that some people just continue doing it the rest of their lives and never make money, and they say, well, it's my hobby. Okay, that's fine. If it's your hobby and you want to lose your money, that's great. Okay? Other people, they give up and they say, you know what, this is all manipulation, it's all bullshit, and forget it. I'm done. I'm just not, I don't even want, I'm going to go to real estate now. That's another one. I'm going to go flip houses. It's real bricks. Right? It's the same cycle. Everybody goes through it. So don't feel bad. I'm not making fun of you. It's just, this is the way people think. Okay? And with each new generation, we have a whole new batch of people that are going to go through the same cycle. So anyway, now I'm going to put a moving average on here. Okay? Oh, look how it's keeping that moving average. Look at that. Oh, that's great. Yeah, this, I can trade this. Hindsight, everybody can do it. Hindsight, everybody's a magician, and the lines make sense, and the RSIs make sense, and the hokamikachika make sense, and the Japanese candlesticks make sense, and the Elliott waves make sense. Right? It's not the way it's done. It's not the way it's done. The way it's done is you have to have a very good understanding of macroeconomics. Okay? MMT is a great tool to use to understand macroeconomics, the pure kind, not this political, give me a free pony, Soviet sympathizing economic nonsense. Okay, forget about that stuff. That's not MMT. I'm talking about the pure kind of MMT. Okay, it's a great tool to use to understand macroeconomics, and when you take that information and you apply it into the real world, then at that point you can use that information in investing. And the way you, again, use another tool to understand if it's a good time to buy, if it's not a good time to buy, and so on, is you use bare knuckle charting. What is bare knuckle charting? Bare knuckle charting gets rid of all this stuff. Okay, let me just get rid of this. And it starts like this. This is what it looks like. Oops, let me take out the moving average. Okay, that's what it looks like. That's all you need. Okay, so I'll end the video here, and we'll talk more about how I do things in the next video. Obviously, I'm not going to give you the full explanation, but I'm going to give you some basic understanding as how I do my charting. The macroeconomic stuff I'm not going to talk about too much. Okay, again, if you are interested, come down to patreon.com/mindthisone, and I can teach it to you. Before I end the video, I'm going to show you the best kind of testimonial there is. Okay, here is an account from one of our subscribers. His name is Mark, and Mark is really one of the prodigy child of IMMT. Now he's had his ups and downs until he gets used to it, like anybody else. Okay, but he's working that out, and he's gotten much better in what he does. And as you can see, this prodigy child, he took 1,000 Great Britain pounds. Okay, that's what he deposited, and he turned that into $11,000, 11,000 Great Britain pounds. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that everybody's going to do that. There are some people who are just gifted. They get it. And this was all done between July 27th to August 30th. Okay. And as he made his money, he donated. I didn't ask for it. Okay, so he donated $1,000 to me. All right. So that's the best kind of testimonial. It gives me and And our instructor is the motivation to continue teaching people how to do it the right way. So if you really want to learn how to invest using macroeconomic understanding applied into the real world and taking that information and applying it into investing, come down to patreon.com/mindthisone, okay? And I'll be more than happy to help you. Now, the foundation for everything that we do in terms of understanding the MMT tool is the national debit, okay? Must-have book, must-have book. Even if you're not interested in investing or the patreon.com subscription or anything like that, you should really get the book, the national debit. It's from my friend Edward Delzio. Does a fantastic job explaining it in a very simple way. So thank you very much. I'll continue this video in part 2. Take care.